Welcome to Olden Goldens. Today, we're hopping into our time machine and heading straight back to the groovy 1970s to revisit one of Britain's most iconic sitcoms, Man About the House. Remember the hilarious chaos of Robin, Chrissy, and Joe, three young flatmates trying to make it work in one London apartment? With its daring twist on shared living, saucy British humor, and nosy neighbors like George and Mildred, this show didn't just make us laugh. It shook up TV norms and became a true classic. But what happened to the stars behind the laughs? Let's rewind the years and catch up with the cast. From their unforgettable roles in the 70s to where life has taken them now. It's been over 50 years, and their transformations just might surprise you. Last but certainly not least, let's remember the delightfully bumbling Jerry, a kind-hearted character whose comic missteps added an extra sparkle to Man About the House. Jerry was portrayed by the beloved English actor Roy Kinnear, born on January 8, 1934 in Wigan, Lancashire. He was 40 years old when he brought his unique energy to the sitcom in the early 1970s. With his wonderfully expressive face and impeccable comic timing, Kinnear made even the briefest scenes shine. Jerry was the kind of character who always meant well, but somehow managed to land himself in hilariously awkward situations. His presence gave the show a warm, unpredictable twist, the kind of charm that British sitcoms are known for. Outside of the series, Roy Kinnear was a true legend in British comedy, lighting up both television and film with performances that balanced heart and humor in equal measure. Tragically, Kinnear's life was cut short on September 20, 1988, at the age of 54, following a heart attack caused by a writing accident on a film set in Spain. Though gone too soon, his legacy lives on in every laugh he brought to screen. A reminder of just how much joy one actor can give to millions. Let's talk about the unforgettable George Roper, the grumpy, clueless, yet strangely lovable landlord who was always trying to fly under the radar, especially when it came to his fiery wife, Mildred. George was brilliantly played by Brian Murphy, born on September 25, 1932, in Ventnor, Isle of Wight. He was 41 years old when he first took on the role in 1973, and he brought something truly special to the screen. With his deadpan delivery, outdated outlook on life, and constant attempts to avoid any real responsibility, George became the kind of character you couldn't help but laugh at and love. His comedic timing was spot on, and his interactions with Mildred were legendary. The duo became so popular, they even landed their own hit spin-off, George and Mildred. Sadly, Brian Murphy passed away on March 15, 2025, at the age of 92, due to complications from pneumonia after a brief illness. His passing marked the end of an era, but his legacy lives on. For generations of fans, he will always be George, the reluctant landlord with a heart of gold and a face full of confusion. Now let's remember the indomitable Mildred Roper, the sharp-tongued, stylishly dressed, and endlessly frustrated wife of George, whose sarcastic zingers and longing for a better life made her an absolute scene stealer in Man About the House. Mildred was brought to life by the incomparable Eutha Joyce, born on August 20, 1927, in Wandsworth, London. She was 46 years old when she first stepped into the role in 1973, and from the moment she appeared on screen, audiences couldn't get enough of her fiery presence. With every eye-roll, cutting remark, and desperate attempt to drag George into the world of sophistication, Mildred added a brilliant layer of depth and bite to the series. Her performance wasn't just funny, it was memorable, giving voice to the dreams and disappointments of so many women of that era. It's no surprise she became one of the most iconic figures in British sitcom history. Tragically, Eutha Joyce passed away on August 24, 1980, just 4 days after her 53rd birthday. Her death was caused by liver failure, the result of chronic alcoholism, a heartbreaking end for such a luminous talent. But even today, decades later, her legacy lives on. Yootha's portrayal of Mildred Roper continues to make audiences laugh, sigh, and admire the unmatched brilliance she brought to every single scene. Let's start with the heartthrob of the show, Robin Tripp, the cheeky, lovable, and ever-hungry aspiring chef. Robin was brilliantly brought to life by English actor Richard O'Sullivan, who was just 29 years old when he stepped into the role back in 1973. Born on May 7, 1944 in Chiswick, London, O'Sullivan turned Robin into more than just a sitcom character. He became a symbol of a changing generation. Living under one roof with Chrissy and Joe, Robin's daily adventures were packed with awkward encounters, flirtatious humor, and clever comebacks. His boyish charm, quick wit, and passion for cooking made him a fan favorite, and his role reflected the shifting cultural attitudes of 1970s Britain, especially when it came to cohabitation and gender roles. Today, in 2025, Richard O'Sullivan is 81 years old. Though he stepped away from the spotlight due to health concerns, he remains a beloved figure in British television history. His performance as Robin Tripp continues to live on, making audiences smile even 5 decades later. Next up is the ever-sparkling Joe, the sweet, bubbly, and sometimes delightfully scatterbrained flatmate who kept things lively and man about the house. Joe was portrayed by the lovely Sally Tomsett, who was just 23 years old when she first stepped into the role in 1973. Born on April 3, 1950, in Plumpton, East Sussex, Sally brought a unique charm to Joe, full of playful innocence and spontaneous fun. Whether she was mixing up the simplest tasks or stumbling into hilarious situations, Joe always lit up the screen with her sunny personality and infectious laugh. Her quirky spirit and carefree attitude perfectly captured the youthful vibe of the 1970s, making her an instant favorite among fans. As of 2025, Sally Tomsett is 75 years old. While she's mostly stepped away from acting, she still makes occasional appearances at fan conventions and TV retrospectives, always greeted with love by those who grew up watching her on screen. Her role as Joe remains one of the most endearing in British sitcom history. Even in the world of sitcoms, some characters, no matter how brief their appearance, leave a lasting impression. One such gem from Man About the House was the ever-stern yet hilarious traffic warden, brought to life by the brilliant Bella Emberg. Born on September 16, 1937, in Brighton, Sussex, Bella was 37 years old when she made her cameo during the show's 1970s run. Though she appeared only briefly, her presence lit up the screen. With her expressive face, exaggerated authority, and spot-on comedic timing, Bella turned a simple traffic warden into a moment of pure comedy gold. Best known for her ability to transform even the most minor roles into unforgettable scenes, Bella added a perfect touch of absurdity to everyday life, a skill that endeared her to audiences across the UK. Sadly, Bella Emberg passed away on January 12, 2018, at the age of 80, due to complications from cirrhosis of the liver. But her legacy lives on, reminding us that sometimes it's the smallest roles that bring the biggest laughs. Now let's raise a glass to one of the quieter yet familiar faces from Man About the House, the ever-composed barman, a background character who helped bring the show's beloved pub scenes to life. Played by Scottish actor John Carlin, the barman may not have had many lines, but his presence added a layer of authenticity to the series. Born on November 6, 1929, in Johnstone, Renfrewshire, Carlin was 45 years old when he appeared on the show in the early 1970s. While the main characters engaged in wild banter and comic confusion, the barman stood calmly behind the counter, serving pints, nodding subtly, and grounding the chaos with a sense of everyday realism. It was a performance built not on flash, but on quiet skill and nuance. With a career that spanned decades, John Carlin appeared in countless British films and TV shows, always bringing professionalism and depth to every role. He passed away peacefully on November 19, 2017, at the age of 88, after a long and dignified retirement. Though his role in Man About the House was small, his contribution helped shape the warm, familiar world fans still cherish today. Let's not forget the quieter faces who helped build the charm of Man About the House. Like Jim, a minor but familiar character who brought subtle touches of realism to the show's everyday world. Jim was played by English actor Michael Seagull, born on May 6, 1947 in London. He was just 26 years old when he appeared during the sitcom's original run in the early 1970s. Though his character never took center stage, Jim's presence was felt, often appearing in background scenes or delivering brief, well-timed moments of humor. He was part of the supporting fabric that made the flatmates' world feel believable and lived in. With natural delivery and an understated style, Michael Seagull brought depth to the show's social setting, the kind of character who might not have many lines but still leaves a mark. Sadly, Michael Seagull passed away on September 21, 1996, at just 49 years old, following a heart attack. His career may not have been in the spotlight, but his contributions helped shape the relatable slice-of-life tone that made Man About the House such a beloved classic. And that's a wrap on our journey through the cast transformations of Man About the House. Which actor brought back the fondest memories for you? Were there any faces you almost didn't recognize? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share your favorite moment from the show. If this nostalgic trip down memory lane made you smile, be sure to hit that like button, share it with fellow classic TV lovers, and subscribe to Olden Goldens for more timeless tales from television's golden era. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep the memories alive.